Hi, in this video we'll learn how to solve system of equations by elimination method. So far what we have learned that in elimination method, if you have the same coefficient for the same variable, then you add or subtract the equations to eliminate the variable, right? But here you can see that you don't have the same coefficient for the same variable. Well, you don't have the same coefficient for any of the variable here. So you can't add or subtract this equation to eliminate one variable and get the value of x or y. So here what we can do is, when you see this kind of situation, when you don't have the same coefficient for the same variable, then you will have to multiply one or both the equations, sometimes one or both the equations, by a constant number to make the coefficient equal. Okay, so this time we'll be trying to multiply one or both the equations to make the coefficient equal. Now you will have to decide what you want to eliminate. Do you want to eliminate y or do you want to eliminate x? What do you want to eliminate first? So let's talk about x first. So if you want to eliminate x, that means this is 9x. You can't multiply anything in this to get 3x, right? So you have to multiply something into 3x to get 9x. You can do that. So if you multiply this equation by 3, by a constant number 3, then you will get 9x. The coefficient of x will be 9x because you're multiplying that by 3. And you will have the same coefficients for the same variable. And you can easily get rid of x. So you'll eliminate x. But if you want to eliminate y, what do you multiply? And what do you multiply? And in which equation do you multiply? So here you see 2y and here you have y. You can't multiply anything here to make it y, but you can multiply something here to make it 2y because you want 2y here, right? 2y in the first equation so that you have the same coefficient for the same variable. So we can multiply this equation by 2 to make this term 2y. So let's multiply this by 2 because I've decided that I want to eliminate y from my equation. It's up to you. If you want to eliminate x, you can do that. But I will eliminate y. So I will multiply this equation by 2. Okay, now if you remember the rule for multiplying, you have to distribute 2 inside every single term. And when you do something, when you do an operation to one side, you have to do the same thing to the other side as well. So that's why I'm multiplying 2 with 13 as well. So let's multiply this. 2 times 9x will give me 18x plus 2 times y will be 2y. And then 2 times 13 will give me 26. And then I have the second equation, 3x plus 2y is equal to negative 4. And you can see that I have the same coefficient for the variable y, right? Whenever you have the same coefficient for the same variable, you can add or subtract the equations to eliminate the variable. So here you see that if I add both the equations, I will not be able to eliminate y from here. So that's why I have to subtract. And you can also remember that if you have the opposite terms, if you have the if this is 2y, this is positive 2y, this is negative 2y, you can add to eliminate y, but since we have the same signs and the same coefficients, we'll have to subtract. So we'll subtract here 18 minus 3x. Now remember that 3x is not negative. 3x is positive, but you're subtracting 3x from 18. So 18 minus 3x will be 15x. And then 2y minus 2y will be 0y. So I can write here 0y. And then 26 minus negative 4 will give me positive 30. Then, I can write this equation as 15x is equal to 30. And then I want x by itself, so I can divide both sides of the equation by 15. And 15 divided by 15 will be 1. So this will be just x. On the left hand side, I have x. On the right hand side, 30 divided by 15 will give me 2. So x is equal to 2. Now I have to find the value of y. So what I can do is I can plug in the value of x in any of the equations. So it's up to you which equation you want to pick, but it will be, you have to think which equation is more easier to solve. So this time I will be picking 3x plus 2y equals negative 4 because this has 9x and 13. So And then when you pick the equation, suppose if you have to pick this equation, you don't multiply here. You can just pick the original equation, which was 9x plus y is equal to 13. You don't have to multiply 2 inside. You don't pick this equation, but you have to pick the original equation. So make sure you pick the original equations. Otherwise, if you do that, then you will have more complex numbers. Greater numbers to solve, and it will be more complicated to solve it. So I'm taking 3x plus 2y equals -4. So I'm going to plug in the value of x here in this equation, and I have 3x, value of x is 2, plus 2y is equal to -4. Now I just have to solve this for y. So let's multiply this first. 3 times 2 will give me 6, plus 2y is equal to -4. Now I have to solve this for y. So let's eliminate 6 from here. So subtracting 6 on both the sides, 6, positive 6 and -6, 6 minus 6 will be 0. The left hand side I have 2y is equal to -4 minus 6 will be -10. Now since I want y by itself, I can divide both sides of the equation by 2. So 2 divided by 2 will be 1, and I can write 1y as just y. It's not necessary to write 1 in front of y. Is equal to -10 divided by 2 will be -5. So my final answer will be y equals -5 and x equals to 2. So remember, when you don't have the same coefficient for the same variable, you can multiply one or both the equations by a constant number to make the coefficient equal. And then once you have the coefficient equal, you can add or subtract the equations to eliminate the variable. And here you have x equals, so we have finally got the answer, x equals 2 and y is equal to -5. And if you want to check your answer, you can do one more step here, is you can plug in the value of x and y in any of the equations and see if that is equal. So suppose if you have 3x plus 2y equals -4, if you plug in the value of x and y here, we'll see what we get. So you plug in 2 in place of x, and you plug in y equals -5 in this. So 3 times x is 2, so 3 times 2 will be 6. 6 plus 2 times -5 will be -10. So this was 6, and this is -10. So 6 minus 10, 6 minus 10, because look here. So you have 3x plus 2y is equal to -4, right? So 3 times x is 2, so this will be 6. And then y is -5, so 2 times -5 will be -10. And this is equal to -4. So 6 minus 10 is -4. So your left hand side is equal to right hand side. That means your answer is correct. So you can also verify your answer if you've got the right values by plugging in the values in any of the equation. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you in next video.